Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to the library. All right, so if you were with me in Miss Malucci's class on Friday, you got a head start looking at these topics and browsing through some of our book resources that we had, starting to narrow in on some ideas that you think might be interesting to you. We have that lovely cart back here today, so that is going to be available to you to browse through again at the end of this class and whenever you come in here next for ELA. But today we are also going to be getting you onto some library databases and resources there for you guys to do research, okay? Not Google. I did not say Google. We're going to databases first today because those are really high quality sources of information. They've already been reviewed by professionals, deemed to be valid and accurate sources of information, so we want to steer you guys in that direction first before we start browsing the wider web, okay? So, in your OneNotes, you should have, everybody, a document that looks like this. And this is just a little bit of a refresher for how to access the library resources for research through the Iroquois website. All of you are familiar, have done this before, correct? Mm-hmm. Yes. So it just is going to walk you through the steps 1 through 6, getting onto the Iroquois website, finding the middle school library, looking for library resources, databases for research. Then down below that, these are going to be the 3 resources that are most helpful for this project, okay? So the first 2 on the list are your encyclopedias. The login information is provided here for you and the passwords if you don't remember them, okay? Encyclopedias are a really great place to start for this research project because they're going to give you a nice overview of the topic, give you some background information, some details about it. So if there were any items on that list that sounded interesting and you want to know a little bit more about them but don't know that that's your topic for your paper yet, check it out on an encyclopedia. All right. For World Book, there's a note down here. You're going to use the student level when you get into that website. If you're going to Britannica, you are going to use the middle level. Okay. If you have any questions about that when you're accessing those websites, just flag me down. I'll come over and give you help with that. One thing I do want you to remember is that you are only allowed to use one encyclopedia as a source for your final paper. Of those 5 resources you're supposed to have at the end, only one of them can be an encyclopedia. So take some time, browse through them today, but all of your information is not going to come from those sites alone. Okay? For that, we're going to move on to our database, Research and Context. Now, I believe you guys used opposing viewpoints for your Omnivore's Dilemma project, correct? Raise a hand if you have ever used the Research and Context database. 1? Okay. So it'll be brand new to most of you. I am going to pull that up really quick here and just show you what that page is going to look like, okay? You're going to find that by going to your library research page, middle school library databases, scroll past your encyclopedias, databases by subject. It's the second last one on the list there for you. And it's going to look like this when you get into it. And it has a place up top for you to do a keyword search. This is going to be a really great place for you to find some primary source documents, some news articles, magazine articles, biographies. This has a lot of different forms of information for you to gather for your research project. Okay, this is where you're going to get some of that meatier information from. So we talked about there is a search bar there for keywords, but I am also going to talk to you about how you can step up your search strategy for this project. Move beyond the keywords and get a little bit more sophisticated by using something called Boolean operators. Does that sound like something that's familiar to you guys? No? You've never heard of it before? Okay, excellent. So we get to start from the beginning. Going back into your OneNotes, you are going to have another sheet in there titled Boolean operators. And what these are little words that you can include in your search phrases or search queries that are going to help you either narrow in on your topic and find resources that are very specific to exactly what it is you're looking for, or it's going to help make that net a little bit wider so you can catch more articles and things that are going to match your needs. So if you already are starting with a very specific topic in your mind for your paper, this is going to help you kind of expand it a little bigger and make sure you're finding enough information. All right? So our 3 words we need to know to use Boolean operators: and, or, and not. Okay? Very basic words, but they do a lot to really improve your search strategies. Okay? So let's pretend for a minute that I'm doing a research project today, not about World War II, but about pets. I'm interested in getting a new pet for myself. And so I'm looking for some articles and some information about cats and dogs. If I wanted to look at articles that talked about cats and dogs together in the same article, same paper, maybe comparing the 2 animals, I would use an and search. So I would search for dogs and cats. And you can see in this little Venn diagram that's on this page for you, it's going to bring up the section where they overlap. So you have all your articles about dogs, all your articles about cats, and this kind of search is going to take you to that place where they overlap. And you have both topics in the same article. And so some examples of how you can use this for your World War II research is you can search for atomic bomb and Nagasaki. So that's going to make sure that you're not getting back results that are about how atomic bombs are made or other war efforts with atomic bombs. It's just going to talk about atomic bombs in the context of Nagasaki. You could do Hitler and childhood, because I know there were some of you on Friday that were interested in Hitler's youth. Not the Hitler youth, but his childhood and his youth. So that can turn up some documents about that. You can search concentration camps and children. Okay, so this is going to be one of the strategies to narrow in on your topic, because World War II is pretty broad. This will help you narrow it down a little bit. So are we good with and searches? Yep, it's making sense? Excellent. So the next one on our list are the or searches. And this is the one that's going to make your net a little bit wider. So back to my example about me looking for a pet. I want all of the information. I want everything there is out there about cats, dogs. I want to know it all. So I'm going to use an or search and search for dogs or cats. And that's going to bring back every article about dogs, every article about cats, and anything where they're both talked about at the same time. All right, so some examples for your World War II research would be for spelling variations. I have Oskar Schindler or Oskar Schindler. You might find articles that have the more American spelling of Oscar, and some that have the German spelling with the K instead of the C. So that can be a really helpful strategy for you. You can search for atomic bomb or nuclear bomb, battle or attack. So you might notice in some of those examples, the or search is taking advantage of some synonyms. So instead of getting focused on this is the only word that I can use to describe this situation, it's going to make that net a little bit bigger and pull in resources that don't have that one specific word. So think synonyms for or. Are we good with or? Yes? All right, I just have one more for you here. Our not search. If I am going back to my pet example, I'm only interested in dogs. Cats are terrible, don't want to know about them, I just want information about dogs. I'm going to do a not search for dogs, not cats. And that is going to bring back all the articles that talk about dogs. Anything about cats is left out, and anything where it talks about dogs and cats is left out. So for your research, you might search World War II, not Holocaust, because that's a big topic that usually comes up in World War II, but you're not interested in it for this project. So that will leave Holocaust out of those articles. You can search concentration camps, not Germany. So if you want to know what other countries were using concentration camps, this will pull up all those other places like Poland and things like that. Any questions on our 3 search strategies here using Boolean operators? These are really going to be helpful for you for this project, and I'm excited to have you guys use these and see if it really improves your search strategies. And the good news is that research in context makes it really easy to use these search strategies. If we go past our regular keyword search bar here and go over to the advanced option and click on that, look what it pulls up for you. A place to enter a keyword search, and then right below it, in this drop box, what are those? What do those look like?
Words.
Words, but what kind of words? The ones we were just talking about, right? Our Boolean operators, and, or, and not. So you can combine your search terms here, choose your Boolean operator, and enter your second word in the next line, okay? There is space for 3. I would recommend just sticking with 2 for today because we don't want to get too narrow to the point where it's not going to turn back any results for you, okay? So as you're researching today, I would really like you guys to play with this advanced search option and use some of those Boolean operators to record your, or to do your searches with, okay? One last resource in your OneNote that I want to draw your attention to are your note sheets. And as Mr. Baumgartner mentioned, 7th period, you do not have these in your folder yet, but over there on the bookcase we do have the hard copies. If anyone else would like a hard copy, you're welcome to use those as well. But these should be something you are familiar with from past research projects, correct? How to use them and how to record the information. So we have them for books and also, scrolling down, for databases and websites. Just as a reminder, research in context. Once you've found your article, on the menu bar over on the side where it says Tools, you have your citation tools at the top of the list. We are doing MLA citations, so clicking on that is going to bring up all of your citation information here for you to record, okay? Your website title, the website database name. If you have an author, it'll be up here in the front. It'll have your URL to copy and paste, and also your access date in there, okay? So that makes that part very easy for you. And then also, on these note sheets, below all of your citation information, there's space to record notes. Down in that space, I would like you to also make a note of what search terms you use to find this article, okay? So give me examples of Boolean operator searches you did. We're interested in knowing how well you guys are able to use them for this project and how effective they are in bringing back results that match what you're looking for, all right? So if you find really great articles today, start taking notes on these note sheets. Record that citation information carefully because it's going to make your life so much easier once we get to the works cited part of this project. And if you don't have a topic yet, just continue to use this time to browse, okay? The databases, the encyclopedias, and our book part up there. Any other information, Mr. Baumgartner?
Not that I can think of.
No? All right, so you guys have the remainder of this period to start your research. I'll be around if you guys need any help.